Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Sodo Kamen Rider Revice by 2. So this is our second Sodo set for Revice, and unlike the first one, it's actually full of Revice characters. So let's go ahead and open the box so we can see the case breakdown here. You can see we have 14 new boxes. The first two are for Revice Megalodon form, then we have Vice's Megalodon form, then we have two boxes here for Revice Eagle form, and then two boxes for Vice's Eagle form. We also get Revice Mammoth form in this one. We don't have Vice's Mammoth form. I believe that's in the next one, but they were able to squeeze him in. Two boxes here for Kamen Rider Demons, and then we have two optional part boxes here, the parts for Revi and Vice to make the two genomes that are in this set. So it's not like this one's all for Eagle and this one's all for Megalodon. This is all Revi's stuff for the two forms, and then this is Vice's stuff for the two forms. So we'll go ahead, we'll take a look at the boxes real quick just so you can see what's going on. So here is Revi's Megalodon form. We also get the Oren Buster 50 in blaster mode, which is pretty cool. And then we have Megalodon for Vice. And it looks like he gets the gun version of the Gundaphone. Next up we have Revi Eagle. And he comes with the axe for the Oren Buster 50. Then we have Eagle Vice. Then we have Revi Mammoth. And then we have Demons, which I'm really looking forward to. I love this suit. Very, very cool. And then we have the two option part boxes so that you can make the remix forms for Megalodon and Eagle, as ridiculous as they may be. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get these all put together and stickered up, and we'll take a closer look. So here are our 6 figures fully assembled and stickered up. We'll start over here on the left with Revi Eagle Genome. And you can see they all come with stands. It's pretty much the same stands we're used to. You have a ball joint there at the base of the stand, and you have a little hinge here at the top. And then you can see he has a spot to hold the extra hands. He comes with a closed set of fists and an open set of hands. So we'll put that off to the side, and we will take a look at Eagle Genome Revi. He looks pretty good. Stickers here for the eyes. I think this purple here on the head is a sticker, as well as the white stripe. And then I would say the sticker here on the shoulder, most of the blue is paint. This part on the inside of the forearm is stickers. The legs are fully painted with the exception of this one sticker here on the thigh. And then the little bit of blue here on the top of the feet is stickers. This blue here on both parts of the skirt are stickers. And we also get the axe mode for the Oren Buster 50. And that actually applies pretty well. You can see there's a little spot to peg it into his hand right there. But overall, I would say articulation is pretty much what we're used to. The head's on a ball joint, so you can look down, look up slightly. You can tilt a little bit side to side, certainly look side to side, no problem. You have a hinge here for the shoulder pad. You have the arm that can kind of come completely out, and you have that channel there, so you can use that to act as a butterfly joint. You have the hinge. You have the bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. It can bend backwards a little bit, not a full 90 degrees backwards, but you have a little bit of movement there as well. The hands are on a ball joint. You kind of have to pull them out a little bit to get the full range of motion, but they're on a ball joint. You have a waist swivel. You have the skirt pieces here on the ball joint piece that pegs into the back. And then you peg the stand into that. So usually the stand peg hole is at the back of the belt, and that pegs into that, and then they give you another one so you can still attach the stand. Stickers for the belt, stickers for the driver. I'm getting a little better at doing the Vice stamps. They're pretty tricky to actually get the sticker on there. You kind of have to fold it in. The hardest part is to get it to go on in between the two parts of the driver, but you can get that on there, and then one sticker for that, and then a sticker here for the crotch. Now, you do have the waist swivel, which I think I showed already, and then we have the the thigh swivel down here. This is kind of done the same way as the Rex Genome, where the thigh piece comes all the way up, so it hides the space there. So if you want to get the range of motion, you kind of have to pull it back a little bit, so that you can then get him to kick forward, or you can kick out to the side. but you have a ball joint there, and you have the thigh swivel as well. So if you want to push it all the way up to hide that space, you can, but then if you want to get any motion, you have to pull it down a little bit, because if you have it pushed all the way up, it's not going to be able to move very much. You do have 90 degree, maybe a little bit more than 90 degree bend there in the knee, and then a ball joint in the ankle. And you kind of have that little space hollowed so that you can really get some nice tilt there on the side. So all in all, it's a good looking figure. I'm not a huge fan of this form, I'll be honest. I think for double they could have done a little bit better. But overall, it does look good, and it's a nice representation of the form they came up with. So happy to have that. And we will go ahead and peg him back into the stand. And now we have Eagle Vice. And you can see you do get, I just happened to put it on this base, but you do get one of these little storage containers, which I love these. I think this is a really great idea. One, it gives you a nice space to store a bunch of smaller accessories, but also if you have a display, it can give them some height, so that's kind of easier to see some of them that are in the back. And this just pegs in if you just lift this off. It's a little snug, but come on. It's just a peg and a peg hole, so you have all these peg holes on the bottom of the base, and it just pegs in there. And you can see I have some accessories, which I'll get into a little bit later. But that just pegs back on there. And I just really like this. I really like this a lot. You can even stack them if you want. You can see there's another peg hole on the bottom. So you only get one in this set. I'm kind of hoping they just throw a bunch of extra ones in with some set down the line, or give us an option to like get a couple extra of these. Maybe just do a set of these or something. I really like them a lot, and I would like to stack them because, one, again, great for storage, but it really gives you height for a display, which I think is really, really nice. So kind of a nice dual purpose there. And you can see, obviously, he comes with a bunch of extra sets of hands. You have an open set. You have a closed fist set that's not able to hold an item, so that's just completely closed, which is nice. And then he's got a closed fist that has the peg hole there so he can hold items. And this one looks pretty good. They did a nice job here. The mask here is fully painted, just the crest here with the little red for the eagle eyes. The face is one big sticker. You have the hinge, again, for the shoulders. The shoulders are fully painted. This is fully painted. The scarf around his neck is fully painted. Just the belt is a sticker. And these pieces on the side. The tail's fully painted. Even these little eagle talons here for the kneecaps are fully painted. The wings are one giant sticker. They can be a little difficult to line up just because it is one giant sticker, but you do have some nice range of motion there, and that pegs in where his scarf would normally peg in, so you just pop this off, and you can see that these two are pegged into that one piece, and that just pegs right in there. So he's got pretty much all the same articulation as Revi. Same thing with the hips. So if you want to get the range of motion there, you have to pull that down a little bit so you can move them up. Otherwise, push it all the way in, and it really closes up the gaps there, which is nice. The only really articulation point he has is a kind of limited ball joint here for the tail. Everything else is pretty much the same. And then, of course, the wing movement there. But yeah, he looks really good. I like him a lot. So we will peg him back into here and move on to the Megalodon version of Revi. So you can see he comes with the blaster form of the Oren Buster 50. Now, obviously, it looks a lot different because it doesn't have that axe piece hanging off the bottom. I think they are making a piece later on to peg into the bottom of his fist, so you can kind of simulate the, axe part hanging down below, but they didn't include it here. This headpiece is all stickers, and this was challenging, I will say, because there's kind of texture there, because it's meant to mimic Decade's helmet. So you have to put these stickers on and then really kind of make sure everything gets in the grooves to get the full effect. But you have the nice green eyes. The white here, these are all stickers. This purple trim here and the shoulder pad also a sticker. The white on the inside of the arms. And then the white down here on the inside of the legs, that's all stickers. Stickers here for the green eyes. Actually, this whole pink piece and green is all sticker. And, of course, the tops of the feet. So he does share a few pieces the same. And I think the Vice stamp for this one came out all right. A little crooked, but I do what I can. But yeah, otherwise, he's got really all the same articulation. He's got these pieces here. You can remove these if you want. They just peg in. If you want to kind of swivel them around, you kind of can. If you like that look a little bit better. So you have some options there, but they're meant to kind of go forward like that. And again, all the same articulation as the other Revi figure. And then, of course, he does come with an open set of hands and a accessory holding set of closed fist hands. But yeah, I like this one a lot. I think this one's got a lot of purple, and I do really like the helmet. I think it came out well. Came out good, however. But the stickers were challenging. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I think the finished product looks pretty good. Next, we will move on to Megalodon Vice. I'm not a huge fan of this form just because he's got a lot of pieces that just kind of hang off of him. I don't like these shoulders really at all. As you can tell, that's one big sticker. The sticker here for the forearm piece, again, just kind of hangs off. These are actually painted, which is nice, but these parts here around the ankle are stickers. Belt's a sticker. This is all painted, which I do appreciate that being painted. This helmet was also very challenging for the same reason. It's just two big stickers that you put on there. And then this part down here for the bottom jaw was actually really challenging to get it to stick and stay in place. You can kind of even barely see it, but you can see there's a little bit of pink there. That's sticker. And he's got the normal scarf piece here, so that has kind of a ball joint. So otherwise, same articulation as the other Vice figure, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this form for Vice. It's just a lot of stuff hanging off, which I just don't think looks that great. But again, it's a good representation of the form they came up with. And he does come with the gun version of the Gundaphone. It really just looks like he's holding the Gundaphone, like it just has a peg. They could have done a little better with that. It just seems really big. I feel like they could have thinned it to just stylize it a little bit more, but that's just him kind of holding on to an iPhone, basically. It looks a little goofy, but that is kind of the design of it. So there is that. Next up, we will move on to the Mammoth form of Revice. We don't get the Mammoth form for Vice in this set. They had to split them up. But this came out really nice. I like this one a lot. You have those awesome Deno eyes there. You have the tusks here on the side. That all looks really sharp. That's all stickers, of course. One big sticker here for kind of the collar and the blue here, and then the piece down the middle. Abdomen is paint. Got stickers here for the driver and the belt. Again, one sticker. They all pretty much have the same legs, I gotta be honest. Just that one sticker there on the thigh, and then pretty much from the waist down, all the Revice figures have been the same so far. You have sticker here on the inside of the forearm, stickers here for this blue trim on the shoulders. But yeah, all in all, I like this form a lot. I think it looks good. He's got the crazy, like boomerang swords that you can put here on the back. So how they did this unpegs, and you can see there's a peg spot right there. And then you can separate these because the two of them kind of stack. So there is like a peg here that this can then peg onto, and then you can kind of line them up so he can have kind of like a cool wing, so he can store those on his back. He can't actually hold those, but what they did, they included extra hands. So if we pop this hand out, they actually give you a separate hand holding them, and you can just peg that in. Now, obviously, it doesn't make sense for him to have them on his back and be holding them, so you would just kind of remove these and put them off to the side while he's wielding them. But they give you two of these, so you have one for each hand. And they're very simple to just pop out and pop in. Whoops, as I drop the hands everywhere. But yeah, so that looks good. I like that. I mean, the stickers were a bit annoying because you really have to kind of pop them on, and then they have all these little bumps that you kind of have to smooth out around. But it looks good. It really does look like he's holding them. So I think they did a nice job with that, so he can wield both of these, which I think looks fantastic. So very happy with that. If you want to display them with him on his back, you have that option. If you want to display it with him wielding them, another option. So I really like this a lot. I think this form came out really, really good. I'm going to take these back off here. And then he does come with the peg hole hands, closed fist options, which is kind of funny because he doesn't use, like, it would be one thing if they had just done little pegs for him to wield these, but I kind of like the route they went because it really does just look like he's holding them, and the stickers are meant to go around the hands like that. Really worked out well. And then I'm going to put this back on here. But if you wanted him to use the Oren Buster 50 or something, of course you could, because he has those hands. Again, has the closed fist hands for punching, and then the open set of hands as well. So you have some nice options there. But yeah, that one came out really, really good. And then, last but certainly not least, we have Demons. I love this form. I love this suit. I feel like it's one big Spider-Man reference, and I'm here for it. So he actually did not come with any extra hands. He just has the one closed set of hands that can hold an object. I think they're giving him hands later on. I think another box down the road, like an accessory box, is getting extra hands for him. But for right now, just the one set of hands. He's got a ton of stickers, though, honestly. This shoulder pad here is kind of like 2 stickers, one for each half. You have a lot of different stickers here for the chest because they kind of did them in segments. So it's like this whole thing, then this whole thing, then this whole thing. The shoulder pad, the head is like every little quadrant is an individual sticker. But it came out looking really nice. You have those creepy extra spider eyes on the side. Then you have the rider eyes for the helmet there. Driver came out all right. I think that sticker looks okay. You have a crotch sticker. I think this blue here, these are stickers, but the red is painted. And then down here, the kneecap, that's a sticker there. And this red here is a sticker, but this blue, the darker metallic blue, is painted. So it came out great, though. I mean, honestly, I really like this suit. Obviously, nothing on the back, the belt, except that's stickers. But yeah, the suit came out great. I think it looks good. Very happy to have a figure for this guy. Hopefully we'll get to see him some more in the show. But yeah, I really like this a lot. I'm happy to have this one because he's definitely one of my favorite suits this year. So we'll get some accessories hopefully for him later on. I'm hoping they do like the other pieces like the mold drill arm and things like that. They could just kind of, either whether they just have a peg into the wrist, you could pop the hand out, peg that in, or it fits in the hand, however they want to do it. But I would like to get some accessories hopefully for him a little bit later down the road. But yeah, he came out great. So all 6 of these figures are really good. I like them all quite a bit. Very happy to have them. Next up, I'm going to show you kind of the random accessories because we got some random saber accessories. So I'll show those off next, and then we'll get into the... We actually have 2 this time remix forms for Eagle and Megalodon. So we have a couple extra miscellaneous pieces that were included in one of the accessory boxes. Right here we have the Shuriken form for Kenzan's sword. I believe when they had given us the sword previously, it didn't even have the handle, so it just kind of had a peg there to fit into his hands. So they've gone and made a new piece here where it's the 2 swords connected in the Shuriken form. And the nice thing is they give us this new hand for Kenzan. It's even got a little sticker there on the back of the hand. And this is so that you can go ahead and put this in so he can actually hold this like he's getting ready to throw it. Because obviously, because it doesn't have any pegs on it, the current hands for Kenzan would not be able to hold it. So they give us this new Shuriken form and the hand to hold it, so that's really cool. We also get these 2 versions of the sword driver. One for Blades. Wow, I'm completely blanking on names here. It's been a minute since I've thought about Saber. We have one here for Blades and one here for Espada, and they just have the sword inserted with the 3 books in there closed, which is really kind of cool. You even have this little nubbin down here so that you can connect the skirt to it, so you can take the skirt off of your current Blades figure, connect it to this driver, and then peg it in. And it's just really nice. You can see you have the 3 covers of the book there, which look really good. And then you have this one here for Espada. And I appreciate that. I think that's kind of neat. The stickers are actually really easy to apply. Pretty much the entire thing is stickers. This is one sticker, the gold here, and then you have 3 individual book stickers. So really very cool. They went on pretty well, and they look really good. So happy to have these as well. I don't know what this hand is. This is a black hand painted pink. I'm not 100% sure what this is for because we have several like accessory holding closed fist hands. It looks like it's a little differently shaped. It's kind of got like a U to it instead of a perfect circle. So I'm not 100% sure what that's meant for, but it is included. So I'm sure it's probably to hold some very specific accessory, and that is included. So we have that. And then we have this kind of like pincer claw piece, which is used to help hold the remix forms that you can peg onto the base right there. So they do include one of these as well. So I just want to show that off quick. So those are the couple accessories that we get. Really like the Saber stuff. I think they did a nice job with that. Let's go ahead. Let's move on to the remix forms now. So first up, we'll start with the Eagle remix form. This one's not too bad. We just go ahead and start by taking off the wings here for Vice and putting them off to the side. And then we are going to remove the shin pieces here. So these all come completely off like so. So he's pretty much ready to go. Now we get these alternate shin pieces with these massive like talons attached, and they're kind of on like a cool rocker joint, which is nice. So we're just going to go ahead and peg these on as our new shin pieces like so. You get one for each side. And get that pegged in there. Then you're going to just bend him at the knee and bring this forward because, of course, these are going to be the new feet for this form. And then you can kind of use that rocker to space them out and get them to sit level, which is nice. The feet don't really do anything. His normal feet, they just kind of hang off the back, and you can kind of just put the tail back there wherever you would like. And then kind of just put the hands kind of tucked in a little bit like so. Doesn't really matter which hands you give them. I just usually leave the default hands in there. They also give you a new set of wings. As you can see, they are quite massive. So we're going to spin these all the way up like this. And then they are going to peg in where the old wings were. Actually, no, I think I have this upside down. I think this needs to go up like this because this spot has to be facing up to something. We'll peg into that in a moment. So peg that in. And there you go. He is ready as he knocks Revi down. So now we take Revi, we unpeg the skirt piece, and we are going to unpeg his chest plate. Now that's a little bit easier said than done. I kind of find it easier to just take the arms off temporarily, so then you can kind of get a nice hold on that. And then this just comes off, and we'll put that off to the side. He comes with a new chest plate with this massive eagle head on the top. This purple part is a sticker, all the white and everything, the eyes, that's all stickers. This is going to drop in here and peg in as his new chest plate. And then this is going to rotate up. It feels like this should go a little bit higher because it's kind of supposed to obscure the head. It doesn't do that great a job of it. That's about as high up as you can get it and kind of tuck the head down as much as you can. I wish I covered it a little bit better than it does, but that's about as much as you can get. We're going to want to bring those thigh pieces down so that we can make him kick all the way forward, kind of like he's sitting, because he's basically going to sit on top of Vice's shoulders. So bring these a little bit out to the side and bend him at the knees, and then just kind of point the legs down as much as you can. That's really all you can do for that. We will put the arms back on. We're going to take the skirt pieces and pop them out of the ball joints here. Come on now. There we go. We're going to put this piece off to the side, and then we have this new piece that we're going to use. This is going to peg in here, like so. And then we're going to take these pieces and just kind of put them like this. You're going to kind of pop them in up top, and then just kind of fold them down to the side. You have a little bit of room to play with them because they are ball joints, but you want them to kind of face forward like this. So let's go ahead and pop this in here and then bring this down. And then there is a little peg hole on the bottom of this, and that's what this is going to peg into. So you kind of have to bring him in, and you really just kind of want to put the arms against the side. But this has to kind of sit on his shoulders, and then this is going to peg in here, as you can see, if I can get that to actually peg in. Sometimes if you put the legs like unbend at the knee, it makes it a little bit easier to peg this in. So this will peg in here, like so. And then you can just kind of angle the wings however you want. So you kind of want these to kind of fill in the gaps from that. And that's kind of it. Situate the legs as best you can. He kind of like holds on to his legs. And I also find it helps if you take the vice arms and kind of push them as far back as they'll go in that butterfly joint, because then it kind of makes room for the legs, and then he just kind of holds on to them. And now, of course, his arm has popped out completely. So we can get this to work here. And then, like I said, you just kind of tuck the Revi arms against the body as best you can. But that's kind of it. I'm probably not doing it at 100%, but that's basically it. That's not great. I definitely think this is the worst remix form of any of them. I've never really liked the eagle form. I just think it looks really dumb. It's very obvious that he's just sitting on his shoulders, and then they have their skirt pieces and the wing pieces out to the side. And I mean, like I said, I'm sure you could tweak it a little bit and get some of the angles a little better, but it's still just not really good. So there you go. That's the eagle form. All right, next up we'll do the remix form for Megalodon. So there's not too much to do for Revi. You come around here to the back and you remove this fin piece. Now be careful, you don't want to actually remove the entire back because the sticker here, this pink, actually goes from the front chest plate all the way to the back, so that is never really meant to be removed. It's just the fin piece here, which you can see unpegs from right there. So we take that, we put that off to the side. We get a much larger fin piece, and we peg that into the back like so. Then we take the driver off, which can be a little difficult because it's kind of tiny and compressed to the body. But we wiggle that off and put that off to the side. And then we get this driver piece that has this giant peg on it. So we just go ahead and pop that on instead. And that's so that it can connect to Vice later on. And then we're going to take these two little pieces here on the back and remove them. They're just kind of like ornamental. They don't really do much. They just kind of peg in there. Honestly, you could take them off and you'd probably never notice it. But you get this massive Megalodon head piece, which has a tail piece for Vice connected in there. And there are these two, as I drop it, there are these two pegs right there and there. And they are going to peg in here to the back. Now the nice thing is you can see that the two pegs are different sizes. That helps you put those two pieces I just took off back on, because otherwise they're hard to tell. But also it's so you can't put these on wrong, which is kind of nice. So you have to get the foot kind of in here behind the tail piece, and then you peg that in to the back of the leg. So you kind of push that in there and make sure it's straight, and then it will kind of peg in, and you can leave the feet on. And so you see that this pink sticker on the big head kind of covers the one that's on the side of the leg. So that is all set to go now. So now he's got two connection points to connect the Vice. And we'll do something with the arms later. They're going to come into play a little bit later on. But he's pretty much ready. For Vice, you have to basically take off every single thing. So the scarf, you have to make sure that you actually take the little nubbin piece out. You can't just pop this out of the ball joint. You have to take off, and it can be a little difficult, but if you kind of wiggle it back and forth, you can see that whole piece is going to come off. So we take that off. Take off the shoulder pad pieces. Take off the forearm pieces. These can be a little difficult, again, because they're just really pegged in close to the body, so it's hard to get a hold of them. But we're going to take this off. We're going to remove this one. Come on. We're going to remove the tail. And then we're going to take off, this whole piece is connected to the shins again, so the whole shin is going to come off. So really just stripping him down to the bare bones, taking all those pieces off. So now we get a ton, and I have to move, I put these in the wrong spot. So we have a ton of new pieces here. Let me get the old pieces out of the way. So we have these new shoulder pieces that we'll put on a little bit later. Or were they, are those the, I mixed them up, so I do apologize. I think those are the newer ones. Yeah, we want to get rid of the more L-shaped ones. So we have these large pieces that are going to replace the forearms. And the nice thing is they do tell you. You can see that there's an R on the inside, so you know which arm to put it on. So we're going to peg this in here like so. We take the other one and peg that in here on the other forearm. We have these giant fin pieces that go connected to these new shin pieces. So I left it on the one, but I'll take it off just for simplicity. So you can see how the new shin piece has this giant connection spot right there on the side. So we're going to pop that in on this side. And then we have another one, which is also going to connect to his new tail. So I'll take it off again just for simplicity's sake. But we're going to pop this new tail in. Come on, pop in there. Oh, I'm popping it into the wrong spot. That's probably why it's not working. So it pops in down there. Then we're going to, I'll take these pieces off. This is going to pop into the other shin spot. And then it's kind of cool. So to get this all to kind of fit together, you have these giant fin pieces. And how this is going to work, this is the right one. So this pegs in here. and it puts it on kind of an angle, and then that's going to peg into the part that is on the tail, and that kind of keeps that all together. So then we're going to replicate that over here with the other leg. That's going to peg in there, and then that's going to peg in up here, and that kind of keeps the tail and the legs together to form the back tail fin. And that kind of works. I mean, I think that works kind of well. They actually have that peg in rather nicely. We're going to put this all forward because this is going to form the lower jaw. And as you can tell, because you have these big pieces, it doesn't really matter which hands you use. It will mostly cover them. So if you think one looks better than the other, you know, whatever you'd like to put on there. So how this works, and I find it a little bit easier to take off the back piece, because what we have to do is we have to peg this spot here into this piece on the back, and that can be hard to do because there's not really anything to grab onto here. But I find it a little bit easier to just take this off and then try to just grab a hold of it. It's really kind of difficult though. There we go. That's pegged in now. So now we can go ahead. This one is going to peg into where you would normally peg the stand in. So I will put this back on. At the same time, I'm pegging that in. So pop that on, peg that in. So that's how they connect. You kind of put the arms straight down for Revi, and then we're going to kind of angle these out as fins. So kind of angle that out to the side. You can kind of bend it a little bit at the elbow to kind of tuck the hand in. I really wish there was something to kind of connect the hand to the side of the thigh. There's not. I think the Revice Remix figure, those 5-inch ones they did, I think they had something like that, but they don't here. And then you just kind of close this up. And then they have these giant pieces that connect back on here. And all they do is kind of connect on... this is the wrong one. I think these have... That's the right... Yeah, I have it on the wrong one. That's why it's not... If something's not connecting correctly, it's probably because you have it on the wrong side. So that's a good rule of thumb there. But we'll pop this one on over here. And these don't connect to Revi at all, which I thought was kind of a bummer. So they just kind of just hang there just to kind of like, I guess, keep the illusion that they're connected a little bit more than they are. And I feel like I have something wrong with the mouth. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Maybe I have to bring the arms up a little bit more. But that's the gist of it. I'm probably doing something a little bit wrong because I feel like this connected a little bit better the last time I did it. I definitely have the connections here correct. I just feel like the arms worked a little bit better last time in terms of this lower jaw portion. But that's basically the gist of it. Let me angle this back up here like that. So, again, I get what they're going for, and it's not really Sodo's fault. I'm not a big fan of these. I know I say this in every video, and I just kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but it just, they don't work very well. You can clearly see it's just two guys, one laying on top of the other. I mean, this one I feel like it's a little bit more successful than Eagle. I'll give it that. I feel like if you kind of look at this, you know, at the right angle, you can kind of tell what they're going for. You know, it looks like a basic shark or something. I know Megalodon is like a dinosaur, but if you're just looking at it for the most kind of basic concept, like I thought this part worked well. I thought these fins back here kept that all kind of tight and together. You know, I don't think the jaw works super great, and I don't know if it's because I have this wrong or not. Probably could tuck them a little bit better. I feel like if I could get this, and maybe I can if I played with this a little better, if I got this up and kind of made the mouth look a little bit more closed. Again, you could play with the angles a little bit, but that's the basic gist of it, and I don't know, it's not that successful in my opinion. I usually do these once just to try it out, and then I kind of never bother with them again. I don't know, I kind of just wish Sodo didn't bother with them. But the Revice line died so quickly that I think, you know, interest for these is just not very high. And so I think, you know, Sodo did them because they're dedicated, and I appreciate that. But, you know, these just, and again, not Sodo's fault. This is how they made it look in the show. So Sodo is just replicating what they're supposed to be replicating. Whoever came up with these designs, I just don't think they work all that well. So I think this is a great wave. I mean, this wave is actually all Revice characters, which is very rare these days. But I think they all look really good as individual figures. I'm not a huge fan of the remix forms. I know I've said that a lot. I do appreciate Sodo trying to make them work. I also very much appreciate the fact that all of the pieces needed for the remix forms are separate pieces that you swap out. So if you're just looking for good figures of these forms without weird connection points or anything all over them, this is the way to go. If you want, you can pretend that those remix forms never happened, which is probably the route I'll be taking. But I really do like all of these. I think Demons looks fantastic. He's definitely one of my favorite suits this year, so I was very happy to finally get him. Mammoth is another favorite from this line. I like Revi's forms a little bit more than I like Vice's forms. Just kind of tends to work out. Not always the case, but for these couple, definitely. I'm not a huge fan of Vice Megalodon. It's probably my least favorite in this set. The Eagle for Vice is okay, but I really like the Revi forms and I love Demons. I think Mammoth's probably my favorite. So I'll be interested to see the Mammoth version of Vice. I think that's in buy 3. And then we'll have the Mammoth remix to do, which is, that's another one to look forward to. But if you're just looking for great versions, great figures of these suits or of these versions of the characters in the show, I think this is definitely the way to go. Stickers, honestly, for Revi, not that bad. Vice, really just the head is the only problem. Demons was the only one that had like a ton of stickers. Well, to be fair, Mammoth had a decent amount, but that was mostly the weapons, which aren't difficult to apply, just kind of like making sure they're on there and smoothing them around all of the like large, I don't know what you'd call them, the ovals that are throughout the blades, kind of making sure that you contour everything. I think took a bit of time, but it really looks nice with what you're done. So all these figures, I think, once you finally get all the stickers applied, really look good, which is kind of why, yes, sometimes Sodo can be a pain with all the stickers, but the finished product are usually really, really nice. So also shout out to the riser thing, because I love that. It's great as a storage device, and I really hope we get more of those in the future, not just like one per set, because I want a ton of them. So hopefully they'll give us away. I can get a bunch more of those going forward. Also, quick shout out to the couple random Saber accessories. They look nice. You can go back and put them with your Saber Sodo figures, and gives you a lot more options and everything. So great wave. Definitely recommend picking it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.